up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Carolin coming back at y'all with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a tutorial on my very much requested sweat-proof makeup routine. This is my go-to makeup routine in the summertime. If you ever see me wearing makeup, this is the products that I'm using, the methods that I'm using, and all of that. So let's just get straight into the video. So the first step in this routine is going to be moisturizing. I'm going to be using the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel, and I'm just going to apply that evenly all through on my face so that under all the powder that we're going to be packing on later, my skin still looks glowy and dewy under all of that, and it doesn't start to look cakey as the day goes on. Then I'm going to be priming my face using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and I'm going to be bouncing this into my skin with a wet or damp beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Techniques one, and I just like applying my primers with a beauty sponge because I feel like after I put my foundation on top of it, it looks very filtered and very smooth. So after that, I'm going to be going in with a second primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer, and I once again use this just so that my foundation has a glow and a dew under it, just like, you know, like a glow from within kind of vibe. And I'm just going to go back into that with my beauty sponge and bounce it all over the high points of my face. So the next step is not a step that I usually show, my brows. So I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Dark Brown. And first starting off by combing through them and making sure the hairs are exactly where I want them to be at first. Then I'm going to go over that with my Fenty Beauty setting powder in the shade Butter. And I'm going to be using that same beauty sponge and just setting my brows just so that when I go over with the pencil and actually start filling in my brows, I get the most pigment out of it and my brows are not going anywhere for the rest of the day. So to start off my brows, I always start at the tail just to make sure I have kind of an outline for what I want to do for the front and for the arch. And then I make my way to the front slowly just by making like hair-like strokes. Then I go to the front of the brow and I really outline it. I don't worry if the front is too harsh. I don't go in and actually fill in the front. I just outline the bottom and a little bit on the top just to make sure I have an outline, and then I will later go in with a spoolie and I will blend out the front. So don't worry if it looks a little crazy at first. So now I'm just gonna go in with the tail again, but this time on the top part, just making sure my arch is really nice in the way I want it to be. I just basically follow the natural shape of my brow. It is easier if you do have your brows groomed to do this part because you don't have to worry about going over parts you're not supposed to or making them too thick or anything like that. So I always recommend you groom your brows before doing your makeup. But in the event that you don't have your eyebrows groomed, just usually go over what you would usually do and just conceal the rest of the extra hairs and stuff with concealer. So here you see me going through with the spoolie, making sure nothing is harsh, making sure nothing is too much or too dark, just because my hair is a little bit lighter, so I don't want my eyebrows to be too dark. So next I'm going to be carving out my eyebrows using my Morphe M432 brush. It is a flat brush, and I went in with some Fit Me concealer in the shade 10, I believe. Even though this was a little bit too dark for me, it's all good because it all worked out in the end. So here I'm just carving out my eyebrows, and really take your time carving out your eyebrows because this is the part that takes the longest, and it'll make or break your makeup. Your eyebrows frame your whole face, so once you mess up your brows, you might as well not do your makeup. Now yeah, right here I'm just making sure my eyebrows are clean and sharp. I'm making sure that the front doesn't have any uneven lines or nothing like that, making sure I don't have concealer in my brow here because that happens a lot and it really gets me tight. So I'm just going in and just making sure that everything is neat. Okay, then I'm going in with the top. Now concealing the top of the eyebrow, I always start with my tail once again, just to make sure that everything is sharp. So I make sure my tail is what I need it to be. Then I go in and I define my arch, and just once again just going with the outline that you already created for your eyebrows, and you just have to follow it and make sure to not put too much concealer on your brush because then it's really hard to blend out, because once you put too much concealer you could try to blend it out and then it messes up the whole shape of your eyebrow. So I'm just doing the same on the other part. Y'all don't really need me to talk through this, so I'm gonna just let y'all watch. Okay. Alright, you guys, I'm back. Did you miss me? I didn't think so. So now I'm just going to use my Morphe blending brush and my Farsali spray, and I'm going to spray that once. Boom, there you go. And then using tapping motions, I'm just going to blend that concealer out into my forehead, into my eyes, so that when I do my foundation, it's not caked on and it's all blended really seamlessly and nicely. So here's the finished product. It's all blended. It look nice. I know, right? So that's it for the brows. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Now I'm going to be using that Farsali spray all over my face again, patting that into the skin. Y'all already know how this goes, making sure it's all good in the hood. Now for foundation, I'm going to be using my Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F2. And I'm just going to draw that on my face like so. I kind of went a little bit ham on the foundation, I ain't gonna lie. But it's all good, because it lasted, okay? So next I'm going to be using my NARS Longwear Radiant Foundation in the shade Oslo. And I'm just going to pump one pump on my cheek, on my nose, my forehead, and a little bit on my chin, because you know we love coverage. So now going into my Morphe stippling brush, I'm just going to buff that out. And now using my beauty blender with my Farsali spray, of course, I'm going to blend that out just in case the foundation left any streaks. So next for concealer, I'm going to be using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla, and I just took this on the back of my hand with the same brush that I used to carve out my eyebrows, and I'm just applying this because that applicator on that concealer is not it. I just feel like for me it doesn't pick up any product really, and I just gotta keep pumping it. So I took it on the back of my hand and I applied this, which was way easier. So now I'm just going to be applying that under my eyes and bringing that a little bit low because I do have freckles, and I do want to cover that up because I want this to be a full beat, honey, period. And I'm also running it along the sides of my nose, as you can see, as I did on the other side and as I'm going to do on this side in a minute. I just feel like it slims down my nose. Oh, you see that? You see that? Boom. It slims out my nose a little bit once I contour it, and I can't speak, and everything, so that it just brings the light to the center of my face. Okay, so now I'm gonna put it on the bridge of my nose just to bring the light to the center of my face, of course, and applying it on my forehead in a circular shape. I got this tip from Jackie Aina because I have a long face, so yeah. And now I'm taking the same concealer in the same brush, but this is in the shade Almond, and I'm just going to be applying that on my cheeks, using that as my cream contour, and I'm just going to be patting it in the shape that I wanted to for my contour, and it's easier for me to blend out instead of me just doing dots all over my face. So here I am sculpting it out, being snatched or whatever, and putting it on my forehead as if it's not small enough, and on my jawline so we can hide all the Chick-fil-A we've been eating, okay? Now Farsali spray, because I let this dry down a little bit and I want it to blend out. So here we are with the Real Technique sculpting brush, patting it away, making sure that it blends. So now going back in with my beauty blender, I'm going to blend out that concealer, and I'm going to start from the outer edges, blending it into my contour and make my way up. And I'm also going to take some of the remaining product that's on the beauty blender, of course, and put it on my eyeball just so that it's all one color later on, just because I'm not going to be doing eyeshadow, because as you guys know, I do my eyeshadow first. So on the day-to-day, I do not do eyeshadow because don't nobody got time. Now that all of that is blended out, I'm going to be taking that same concealer in the shade Almond with this Real Techniques Deluxe Concealer Brush, and I'm just going to be snatching my nose with it. I'm going to be doing a little bit of cream contour on my nose. I'm not picking up that much product though, because I do not want it to look so blotchy and muddy on my nose. I just wanted to give it like a flush of color. And I'm also putting it in like that little inner tear duct, I would say that is, so that it just looks all cohesive and blended, and it doesn't just look like two rough lines on your nose. You feel what I'm saying? So when I do my nose contour, I also do very light patting motions, as you see right here. I don't like to drag it that much. I just like to pat it so that my foundation, my concealer under it does not move or slip up, which has happened to me before. So I've really perfected this, in my opinion. I don't even gotta say anything about this powder. Y'all know. Real Technique setting brush is what I'm going to use, and I'm just going to start off by doing underneath my eyes. So for the summertime, I do not like using my beauty blender, my wet beauty blender, dry beauty blender, anything like that. I don't like doing none of that. As y'all can see by my face, I was getting put onto some tea, so don't mind my facial expressions for the next couple of clips. But yeah, I feel like this brush just makes me lightly set my face without overly powdering it, but it actually makes me work it into the skin, as opposed to if I have a beauty blender, I'm just kind of packing it in. So here I am with the brush. I'm just patting it all over my face evenly. It is a smaller brush, so it does take some time, but it really helps me focus the powder in the areas that I really want to. Now I'm blending out that wet concealer that I still had on my eyeballs, blending out the creases before I set it, again with that powder and that brush. Here we go, making sure everything is all blended. Like, I really snatched my face this day, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. Now, without picking up any extra product, I'm going to be going over my face with the same beauty blender. It just has a little bit of the Farsali spray on it, so I'm just making sure that powder is sunken and melted into my skin so that we don't look cakey or anything like that. Next, I'm going to contour my face using my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. Using that middle shade on the lower row, I'm going to be contouring my face with this Morphe angled brush. And I'm just going to contour my face. You guys already know the deal. Honestly, you see this face? This that face when you get put onto tea, honey, period. But nah. So now I'm going to be taking this blending brush, taking a little bit of that same contouring powder, and lightly, I have to emphasize this, lightly swiping that across your nose to give your nose the perfect contour. Don't overdo it, okay? So now I'm going to be taking my Black Radiance True Complexion Contouring Kit. I'm going to be taking this Morphe brush, and I'm just going to be using that as a bronzer, giving my face a little bit more life. Then I'm going to be taking a little bit of that powder on that brush just to clean that up. I'm not necessarily baking, but I'm just cleaning it up. Because I have combination skin, I don't really bake my face because that's a mess. Okay. I don't know why I thought I was cute right here. Don't mind that. But doing this really just ensures that your makeup doesn't break down throughout the day, especially on the sides of your nose where it tends to the most, and on your eyes, of course. So now I'm just going to be taking this MAC blush in the shade Enthusiastic Red on this e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm going to run that on top of my contour, my bronzer. I'm progressively going to start filling myself more and more throughout this video in the next few clips, so don't mind me if I start filling myself a little bit. I don't know why, but yeah. So I'm just going to take that on the tip of my nose too, because I just like how it looks. It makes me look rosy and cute, and you know, yeah. Now I'm just going to brush away that powder and also blending that contour and that blush together. And when I did this, I picked up a little bit more Fenty powder, so it's just powder upon powder upon powder. That's the point. So now using my Morphe, okay, I realized my lips was not looking good, so I had to put some lip gloss on. That's Victoria's Secret in the shade Ice. I very stink. So now using my Morphe highlighting palette, and I went into this shade right there, boom, with that same setting brush we used, and I'm gonna put that on my cheeks, the high points of my face. I'm gonna put that on my cheeks, and honestly, I'm just gonna build this highlighter because y'all see it's blinding, but I like a good highlight, so I'm gonna build it, and I'm gonna put it on the tip of my nose, of course, and I'm also gonna put it on the bridge of my nose because y'all see that, okay. So now I'm going to run that on top of my brow bone and also on my forehead. And this is what's really giving the illusion. Like, ain't no makeup, sis. Ain't no nothing. This is skin, honey. I'm glowing. You a goddess. Like, this is really the illusion that is given. And that's what is given all summer 2019. Period. Okay. So if y'all saw my previous video, y'all know to deal with this highlighter. This is a Wet n Wild loose highlighter. And I'm using my Morphe Deluxe highlighting brush for this. Taking a little bit, though, because this is too much. Y'all see what I was talking about? I'm doing the most, okay? Period. Yeah. So now I'm going to be taking this flat brush. This is like a concealer brush with that same highlighter from the Morphe palette and running it on the bottom of my brow bone. So now I'm going to be putting that in my inner corner, and this is the Morphe highlight as well. Do y'all see how blinding it is? Stop playing. Stop sleeping on these Morphe palettes, especially if you are MUA. These little palettes like this is really going to build your collection because it comes with various shades that you could even use for eyeshadow. So yeah, there you go. So now I'm going to be taking this Wet n Wild kohl eyeliner in the shade white, and I'm running that along my waterline just for when I put my eyelashes on and my mascara on. My eyes still pop a little bit and they don't look so dark and weighed down. So now going into the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place, I'm going to be taking that nude eyeshadow on a blending brush and running that across my eye just because it's the same skin tone as me, and it just gave it a little bit more color and it made it look more matte and more full coverage on the eye because, listen honey, those veins was not cutting it. So now I'm taking my L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara and I'm just going to be running that on my lashes. This isn't my favorite mascara, but for when I'm doing lashes on myself, it does the job, okay? So now it's time for lashes. These are Beat.by lashes in the style Baddie. Of course, y'all know the vibes. I talked about this already. Now I'm back. Now I'm cleaning my lips with this disposable makeup sponge because I had foundation lips and that's not cute. And I know y'all didn't want to stare at that the whole video, so now I'm taking them off, period. So now for lip liner, I'm going to be using this Makeup Forever Artist pencil in the shade Whatever Walnut to line my lips. This is just a nude lip liner. So I don't do lipstick in the summertime because it's too heavy, so I'm going to be taking this NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, and I'm just going to be running that over the center of my lips just so it still gives me the same gradient that lipstick would, just a gloss. And I'm going to be taking that same Victoria's Secret lip gloss I've been using this whole video and cleaning the inside of my lips like that. Now taking my Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray, I'm going to be drowning myself in this. This really makes your foundation and your makeup stay all day. And I'm just going to fan that into my skin like so. And once again, going back into the same spray, you guys already know. And then with my Farsali spray, just to give my skin a nice dew on top of all of that powder. And as you guys can see, it's starting to dry down. I'm starting to feel myself. Yes, baby girl. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished product. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to like and comment down below, and also make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification so you'll get notified every time I post a new video. Make sure to follow all my social media accounts, will be listed down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.